This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by mail-to-jail.com, something that rhymes with com. Fed naval personnel showing Ghana security operatives how to search a vehicle. Fed soldiers in Iraq going over a presumably suspicious car. Is this how things will look at Manchester Airport in New Hampshire? Not precisely, but airport overlords have announced they will randomly force approaching drivers to submit to vehicle searches. My understanding from reading the Union Leader article is that these searches will be conducted by a mix of different agencies, including the TSA and locals. It's a procedure long since imposed at other airports, like Boston Logan. The question is, what can liberty activists do about it in New Hampshire? Well, we can do a lot more than we're doing so far. We're almost a week past the controversial announcement in mid-February, and there isn't much indication of organized resistance yet. However, public opinion in the comments section at unionleader.com was running about 4-1 against the planned searches, so most any peaceful resistance is likely to get public support. The easy and low-risk things you can do are as follows. Get video whenever you see or experience a search. Put it on YouTube. Tell me about it. Be open. Inform authorities you're audio taping. Call Porcupine 411 whenever you learn of a search. Vector activists to the scene. Maybe I or others can get video too. Or you can set up a spot demonstration. Maybe you could have a sign or two ready for this purpose. You could set up a pre-planned protest. Another thing I tried at the airport before discovering video was to walk deep into the facility and stand there with a sign protesting security procedures. I handed out leaflets to folks who approached me, then backed out slowly when cops ordered me out. I refused to speak. If forced into a search, you could try complying slowly. You could ask questions. Who, what, where, when, why. You can reduce your number of outgoing flights. Just cancel certain trips. You didn't want to be away from New Hampshire anyhow, right? You didn't want the government to get all that tax money from the ticket, did you? And you didn't really want to be $400 poorer, did you? If possible, just skip the trip. If there's somewhere you really need to be, try being there less often, but for a longer period of time. That's what I do. I try to limit flights. No more than 2 per year. Avoid last-minute bookings to reduce the amount of money they get out of you. These steps will help amount to a partial boycott. Here's one I like that we've never tried before. Try just standing in the area with a sandwich board that reads Human Rights Monitor, or a shirt that reads Human Rights Monitor. Then you could walk up to, videotape any abuses that you see. If you, for some reason, cannot take any risk at all, then there are still steps available. Write down everything you see. Post it to one of the liberty-oriented web forums in New Hampshire. Write a letter to the editor protesting this. Those are just the low-risk things you can do. If you want to be even more effective, you could always drive up and decline to submit. Just don't do this half-cocked. Don't do it without getting video. And don't be rude. See the video descript for this clip if you want a relatively full list of your options. I do have some questions regarding the exact protocol the authoritarians will impose. Maybe you viewers can answer some of them for me. What would constitute an inspection? A search? Would they search inside vehicle cabs? Trunks? Engines? Would they use special devices of some kind? Would some types of vehicles be singled out? Will they be purchasing new equipment, and what will be the taxpayer expense for that? What will be the taxpayer expense for the additional hours? Would they arrest an approaching driver for having marijuana in her glove box, her trunk? What would they do if a driver arrived at the terminal but refused to consent to a search? These are the questions you can help answer if you run into a search. Remember, government overstep is an opportunity. It can mean great videos. It can help grow the liberty movement. It brings us closer to the day when there is no federal government. But you have to make their wrongdoing visible. If you simply go through the process with zero resistance and zero documentation, you are part of the problem.